All right, my friends, we need to have a serious conversation about this new anime, Betrothed to My Sister's Ex. Should you watch it? Should you not? You know, we're making life decisions right now as summer is just taking off, and we are getting anime after anime after anime, and most of them have been decent. Some of them have been, most of them have been decent to good. And I think so far we're off to a good summer with a good population of something for everybody. And I really like when we get those kind of dynamic seasons of like decent choices, and maybe something doesn't hit for one person, but there's something there that could hit for somebody else. I love when we get those kinds of shows. Now, here's the thing. Betrothed to My Sister's Ex, I see the vision. I see me really liking this show. This has a lot of the qualities of things I like. But here's the kicker. I have to really let you guys know I didn't like episode 1, but the things I didn't like about it aren't going to persist, or they're not going to stay along the ride. Let me tell you here, let me just give it to you. Let me give you the skivvy. Let me give you the skinny. Don't click off. Hit the like button though. Here's the things I did not like about this show. One, they have the sister being portrayed as like the Cinderella character, right? Like she's the person who the family like tucks away in the shed in the back or whatever. And basically like she is the bastard child, the young version. Basically like they have their older daughter and then she is the younger daughter, like right under, like, you know, a year apart. She's the bastard child of the count or whatever, and she looks drastically different, and they all hate her. They tell her that she's ugly and worthless and blah 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 blah. So my first problem is they depict it as she's the daughter of a poor baron. But as they take us to, and they're not exactly living lavishly, and they're not exactly like, they don't have, you know, maids and this and that. She was the maid, blah 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 blah. They're poor, but they're poor for being at the status that they're at, but they're not poor. Like her sister had a lavish room and lavish clothes and a lavish lifestyle. And they try to gaslight me and you as the viewer into saying, and she does as well, into saying that her older sister took care of her and loved her, and she's the only one, and she cared for her so much, and she's the light to her. She's the light through her darkness, but yet the sister didn't care enough to change her sister's life at all. At some point, she's standing behind her sister in like a potato sack around her that's like stitched together, basically like the most like slave clothes. And if her sister loves her that much and she has that much power in their household, then she would be able to change her life. So that's the first thing, you know, and again, I don't want to harp on it too much because we've moved on to the next part of the show. And the next part of the show is what the show's about. It's about her and you know, living. I'll get to that in a second. But it still bothered me. And that's why I didn't really like the episode, but I am going to like what it's going to give me. Then we have the whole thing with, you know, oh, well, the family, you know, she had a birthday, and instead of celebrating her birthday, they're celebrating Anastasia's like coming of age, which was her older sister. And during the older sister's stuff, like she bolts because she is frankly depressed because her family doesn't give a crap about her. They don't care about her existence. If she was dropped dead and died, they don't care. So she leaves the party, and she's eventually found by the Duke, or is he a Duke, or he's she's found by the noble of another country named Cyrus, and he's gonna be like the future leader, the future prince of this country, whatever. And thankfully, it's a country that she's very interested in, like Issa something, Etherolopolis. He's part of a country that she has a lot of interest in. She likes their culture. She likes to read on them. She likes to read about their spices and their wares. And so they spin up a conversation, and he basically immediately falls in love with her. And she's been drilled. You're ugly. You're ugly. You're a piece of shit. You're ugly. You're ugly. You're ugly. That she thinks this is the reality, but that's not the reality. She's beautiful and whatever else. And he instantly falls in love. So he assumes one that he doesn't know her name. He assumes she's Anastasia. He assumes she's the older sister. So he sends a request to get married. They ship the older sister off, and then apparently during that shipment, which I don't think the sister's dead, by the way, but they ship her off and she dies. Now, the reason I don't think the sister's dead is there's a conversation that she had a flashback where her sister was trying to get her to wear like women's clothing based on men's, like, you know, like basically like more masculine women's clothes. And her sister has a passion to create clothes and stuff. And my guess is on her way there, because she wasn't sold in the wedding. She didn't like her parents either. She had a whole nother, like, she had a different trauma. And her parents, frankly, did send her away too. Is on her way there, she apparently died. And then everything fell to her sister. Again, I'm thinking she faked her death somehow. She probably had knights and stuff that really liked her. And she was able to probably beeline it to she'll probably get discovered later that she actually wasn't dead. She goes by a different name now or something stupid like that. I bet my bottom dollar that she shows up once again and that she's not dead. But anyways, the other sister then gets put as her replacement, and we come to find out the Prince Duke guy comes to find out that, oh, this is the girl that I request. He's like, send the girl back. I don't want her. And we come to find out that actually the girl he does want is her. And she begins to get appreciated. And by the end of the episode, she's introduced to her, you know, his mom, and his mom approves. And she's asked to be his formal fiance to get married and stuff like that. She's like, no. And who knows what's going to happen from there. So the things I didn't like about the episode, the things I didn't like about the show, again, are over. And they're not going to be the main focus. The main focus is going to be between her and Cyrus and finding herself, finding out that she's beautiful, finding out that she matters, figuring out how to be the fiance, figuring out how to be the next queen, getting trained, getting loved by Cyrus for the first time, then blooming a beautiful relationship, some comedy moments because she still doesn't quite understand. She didn't live the life that they left, so everything would be new and stuff to her. So I think we have a gem on our hands here, but some of these that happened in episode 1 I didn't like, but I like the big package. So should you watch it? Obviously that is up to you, but for me, I think I'm gonna watch it. I think I'm gonna be here every week. I think this is gonna be one of those hidden gems of the season, and I think this is gonna be a really good one. I like the art. I like Cyrus. I like that he's unabashedly in love. I like her. I like the ED. I like when it shows her with like messed up hair and stuff. I think she's going to bring some comedy through it just through her faults of not having experienced life in the right way. So I think there's something special here. And I feel it in my old bones. I feel it in my bones that there's something special here. So I'm going to stick with it. I'm very excited too. So Betrothed with My Sister's Ex is what it's called, right? But yeah, Betrothed to My Sister's Ex, which is weird because her sister really wasn't ever involved. She was sent to him, but she died on the way. So it's kind of a weird, it's a weird title, Betrothed to My Sister's Ex, because it's not exactly accurate. But the Japanese translation is Love by Her Sister's Former Fiance. And that seems to be more accurate, even though there wasn't really anything there between the sister before. So anyways, I'll be here every week. I think this one's going to be awesome. I can't wait to watch more. Hopefully you have the same feelings too. Will I be here next week? I'm 100% sure I will be. But at the end of the day, if this video flops and I don't get any views, Daddy won't be here. So I'll be watching something else that does a little better on the channel. But we'll see on how that ends up being. So hit me with the love, hit me with the like, hit me with the subscribe, hit me with the comment, and show me some engagement, guys. And hopefully I'll see you guys next week. If not, have a great rest of your July 4th weekend if you're in the West. And if you're not in the West, have a great rest of your day, week, month, year, night, evening, whenever you're watching this. One love. Peace out.